All right, welcome to today's episode of Your Daily Scrum. I'm professional Scrum trainer Ryan Ripley. This gentleman over to the side, I don't know, right or left, depending on where you're watching it, is professional Scrum trainer Todd Miller. We come together every day to answer your questions about Scrum, to help you be a little bit better in your Scrum practice, and to give some insights into how we think about and use Scrum in our own practice. And so today's question, Todd, is certainly a fun one. How is work assigned to a Scrum team? How does that happen, Mr. Miller?
I'm not sure if I like the way the question is at all, because it implies a lot of things. We could take this in a lot of directions, right?
Yep, we could.
Let's start with this, maybe, that it's the product owner creates a product backlog, which describes the future of the product.
Correct. Right.
There is an event called sprint planning, where the whole Scrum team comes together. That product owner brings that product backlog and has a conversation with the rest of the Scrum team, the developers. The Scrum Master is there, could facilitate and step in and have conversations about it too. But ultimately, the developers look at and assess and have a conversation with the product owner around the product backlog in sprint planning and bring in work into the sprint backlog. The developers bring that work in, work that they think that they can accomplish. And ultimately, the Scrum team leaves with a sprint backlog, a forecast for the work, and a sprint goal, an overarching sprint goal. The goal is the ultimate thing. We've done many videos about this, right? So the product owner has ordered the product backlog. There's a negotiation in sprint planning. Developers bring the work that they are responsible for delivering. Ultimately, the accountability is or the commitment is to delivering a sprint goal. But that's how it is really decided what work we're going to do. Did I describe that okay, Ryan?
Yeah, I think you did a nice job here. There's an idea that I want to put out on this banner. That I really want to put a fine point on this, because I think there's a lot of misunderstanding here. And I think a lot of teams get confused about push versus pull, right? I want to say this: Scrum is a pull system, not a push system.
Perfect. Mm-hmm.
And so and let me unpack that just real quick. Scrum teams pull work into a sprint, and they decide how best to achieve a sprint goal. They decide the work needed in collaboration with the product owner, right? We're not saying it's just anarchy, and it's in collaboration with the product owner, right? But the Scrum team pulls in that work based on the sprint goal they're trying to achieve. Work is never pushed onto a Scrum team. They can't be forced to do something. And so they pull work in that best fits their ability to achieve a sprint goal. They execute on that work. They refine that work. They swap things in and out based on what they learn. But they, as a Scrum team, and specifically developers, are deciding the work that will be done during a sprint in collaboration with the product owner to achieve a sprint goal. Is that fair?
I think we've absolutely covered. I like the pull system, not a push system. And in saying that too, of thinking about what I've seen from teams quite a bit, is that there's this tendency to want, during sprint planning, to walk out of that with names earmarked, right, PBIs.
Yep.
And oftentimes, now I can't say every time, because Scrum doesn't say that that's bad, right?
Right.
But a lot of what I see, oftentimes, if you're walking out with that you have you don't have a team of people. Right, you're just walking and going in different directions to work on things. So I think that might be something. Maybe we can dive a little bit deeper into that. But ultimately, it's whole team accountability with delivery of the increment. The developers decide on what they're going to work on this, in the sprint, and it's really nice to have a team of developers that are focused on similar items as the sprint progresses, not just PBIs and getting as much done as possible.
I like it. So Todd, I think we're going to call this one good.
Yeah.
Right.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Let's take a look at these socials real quick. It's at Agile for Humans on most platforms. Be sure to like and subscribe so that you can know when future videos are dropped. Leave us a comment, right? Do you believe that Scrum is actually a push system, that we're completely wrong? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your thoughts. How have you seen this play out in the real world, as some people like to say? Your comments are valuable. Leave us a question. Who knows? It might turn into a future video. Check out the additional videos we've provided below. These could also help as you seek to improve your practices. But for Todd Miller, I'm Ryan Ripley. Well, have a great day, and we will likely see you tomorrow.